Johann Sebastian Bach's 9 extended residence locations, by Sean McHugh, with photos mostly from August 2025. 62 slides. Eisenach, 1685 to 95, hometown, 10 years, ages 1 to 10. Ohrdruf, 1695 to 1700, brother's home, 5 years, ages 10 to 15. Lüneburg, 1700 to 03, college, 3 years, ages 15 to 18. Weimar, 1703, Duke Johann Ernst III, 7 months, ages 18. Arnstadt, 1703 to 5, new Bach church, 2 years, ages 18 to 20. Lübeck, 1705 to 6, tuition visit, 4 months, ages 20 to 21. Arnstadt, again, 1706 to 7, new Bach church, 2 years, ages 21 to 22. Mühlhausen, 1707 to 8, St. Blaise's Church, 1 year, ages 22 to 3. Weimar again, 1708 to 17, Duke Johann Ernst III, 9 years, ages 23 to 32. Curtin, 1717 to 23, Prince Leopold, 6 years, ages 32 to 8. Leipzig, 1723 to 50, St. Thomas's Church, 27 years, ages 38 to 65. Eisenach, 17th century house. Bach Museum, near his unknown birthplace. House at rear of garden, rented by Bach's parents, Ambrosia and Maria Elizabeth, 1671 to 4. Statue outside. Calculating Bach's head. St. George's Church, c. 1200. Bach was baptized as a Lutheran Christian here. Previous Bach family members and Telemann were employed. The tower, however, is from 1900, in matching style. Bach's father's cousin Johann Christoph Bach was the organist and helped introduce Bach to music. Baptismal font used for Bach on 2nd of April 1685. Bach statue from 1939 as senior man in St. George's entrance hall. Eisenach further has the medieval Wartburg Castle, which Wagner visited in 1842 and inspired his opera Tannhauser. Ohrdruf. St. Michael's Church, medieval. Orphaned Bach lived with his elder brother, also called Johann Christoph. The main building was damaged several times, including in World War II, now not rebuilt. Symbols of the Bachs there. Lüneburg. St. Michael's Church, 1376, used by Bach's boarding college. Bach sang in the choir. Organ from 1708. St. John's Church, 1370. Bach also attended here from college. Stained glass from 1969. Organs as God from above and sound filling the space as the ubiquitous divine. Modern organ. Bach's organs often designed by Arp Schnitger, 1648 to 1719. St. John's from cobbled streets. Weimar, 2 stays. City Palace, 1847. Bach worked for Duke Johann Ernst III and his chapel for 7 months in 1703, then for 9 years, 1708 to 17. However, at the end of his second tenure, he was imprisoned in the Bastille or Fortress Tower for several weeks following disagreements. The main 17th century building was destroyed by fire in 1774 and replaced in neoclassical style. Bach had the first 2 of his 4 composer sons, WF and CPE, with his first wife at his home in the corner of the square. Arnstadt, 2 stays. New Bach Church, 1683. Bach gained his first position as the organist here. He was appointed after advising on its new organ in 1703. Halfway through his tenure, he took a 4-month break to Lübeck. The church had replaced another that burnt down a century before. However, new church was renamed Bach Church in 1935. View from the front. Bach's position passed to a cousin after he left. Lübeck. St. Mary's Church, 1352. Bach travelled largely on foot from Arnstadt to meet Buxtehude here, organist 1668 to 1707. Handel also visited 2 years prior in 1703. It's the world's tallest brick-built vault or arched ceiling at 39 metres, also having good acoustics. Bach extended the length of his stay. Most of the church was rebuilt after World War II damage. Adjacent Old Town Market Square. St. Jacob's Church, 1334. He also visited here, view by the entrance. Surviving organs. Holston Gate, 1464, the old city's western boundary. Mühlhausen. St. Blaise's Church, c. 1350. Bach was organist 1 year 1707–8, also being involved in organ design. 13th century parts of the church, influenced by French architecture. The present organ from 1959 is built to a record of Bach's specification. Statue of 23-year-old Bach outside. St. Mary's Church, c. 1400. Bach had lesser responsibilities here. Bach married his first wife, Maria Barbara Bach, second cousin, in Mühlhausen. He also revisited in 1735 when his son J.G.B. from this marriage was appointed St. Mary's organist. Curtain. Curtain Palace, 17th century. Home of Prince Leopold of the House of Asania. Chapel on ground floor. Bach likely first met Leopold in Weimar at a royal wedding in 1716, the year before. Palace rooms where compositions first performed, including the solo cello and violin works. Peace and civility conducive to inward inquiry. Leopold died young in 1728 at 33, 5 years after Bach's departure, and who then provided a funeral cantata. Prince Leopold, given with grey hair. Later impression of music scene with Bach at the keyboard. Bach Memorial in town. St. Jacob's Church, c. 1400. Works also performed here. Bach married his second wife, Anna Magdalena Wilke, in Curtain. Leipzig. St. Thomas's Church, 1496. Bach's final appointment for 27 years, over half his adult life. Gothic-style church with pointed arches and elaborate exterior detailing. Portraits of the church supervisors, the earliest from 1614. Bach was preceded by notable composers Kuhnau and a century earlier by Schein. Bach's grave near the altar, but it's not certain the remains are his. Statue from 1908. Old Bach Memorial from 1843. St. Nicholas Church, early 16th century. Bach further directed music here. The St. John Passion and various cantatas were performed. Bach had the second two of his four composer sons, JCF and JC, with his second wife in Leipzig. The current neoclassical interior is late 18th century, post-dating Bach. I would send the complete works of Johann Sebastian Bach into outer space on the Voyager spacecraft. But that would be boasting. Thomas Lewis. Any questions?